Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Wouldn't it be nice if everything was Californian? Can you imagine? All the men would have perfect teeth and perfect muscles. All the women would have perfect teeth and perfect muscles. But evidently, that just isn't the case, is it? But you can get a little bit of California cool on your wrist. I've got a brand new watch from Californian microbrand Collins, just launched on Kickstarter to show you today. It's actually the third watch that I've looked at from Collins. I reviewed their two previous models, the Bronson and the Bronson chronograph, and I really liked those two. I think they were very well thought out, very well resolved designs, and they had just enough California in them to make them stand out from the crowd. Let's flip the camera and have a look at their new model then. So let's start, as we often do, with a look at the Kickstarter campaign. So these Hyperions start from $395 US for the silver cased version, $425 for the black, $455 for the carbon, and get incrementally more and more expensive the longer you leave it. They kind of tap out at about $595 for the carbon once all those early bird slots are taken. I'll talk about the pricing a bit later on as well. You get a very simple, I think, no bells and whistles on this one, but a very legible, stylish, understated piece of Californian design. So let's get this right today. Swiss movement, it's a Sellita 200 in here, and they are assembled, tuned and tested in the USA. So they're not made in America, no hand built in America like the old Jeanneau Ocean Rovers here. I'm guessing the cases are manufactured in Asia, but the parts are all put together in California. And put together rather nicely, if I may say so. So if you remember seeing my reviews of either the Bronson Automatic or the Bronson Chronograph, this will all look quite familiar to you. The Hyperion really is an evolution of the Bronson in many ways. Bronson was a really nice watch. I didn't have all that much to complain about. In fact, I only complain about two things, and they've actually resolved both of those issues with the Hyperion. So we're starting on a good basis as far as I'm concerned, therefore. Same set of dimensions, 40mm in diameter, about 13.8mm thick though, so it's got a bit of girth to it. 48mm lug tip to lug tip, 20mm lug width, and on this supplied leather strap, so this is the standard leather strap, various Zulus and other fancy leathers you can option on for extra cost. This one weighs in at 85 grams. 316L stainless steel, three-piece case. In this case it is black coated, and we've got a lovely piece of double domed sapphire crystal. So again, upgrade from the Bronson. The Bronson had flat sapphire, this one has got double domed, and as you can see my studio lights there popping away with a nice bit of purpley blue AR, so much appreciated. A very simple design of case and very simple finishing on the case as well. Just a three-piece stainless steel back and coated mid-case and bezel. Now even the stainless steel version, the steel version has no polished surfaces on it whatsoever. Everything is brushed. Great for sunnier climes like California or me here all the way down in Sydney. Now one nice little touch is the crown. Doesn't screw down, but this watch still manages 100 meters of water resistance, which is great. Obviously you're not going to use that capability on this leather strap, but there are other options as mentioned. Now the Collins C there matching the brand logo, and it's like a volume control. Jimmy was an audio engineer, and this is a little nod to that and to his obsession with bits of hi-fi and audio equipment. So you've got a little volume control on the side of your case. Very simple design, this watch, so that's a nice little quirk there on offer, nice little design quirk. Flipping the watch over to show you the see-through case back, movement contained within, the next major upgrade over the Bronson, and probably the most significant of all, Sellita 200. So we've gone from an NH35 to a Sellita 200, which is a cracking upgrade as far as I'm concerned. This one, it's a 26 jewel clone of the ETA 2824, hacked hand winds, 38 to 40 hour power reserve. Very, very consistent movements in operation, these Sellita 200s. Now they're high beat, 28,800 vibrations per hour, so you've got that lovely smooth 8 ticks per second sweep of the second hand. Now the dial is just printed kind of Flieger style, certainly those specifically diamond shaped hands are very much Flieger style.
Big Arabics at 12, 3, 6 and 9. Brand name Collins under the 12 and the model name Hyperion above the 6. Extended batons at the hours and little minute markers all the way around. Matte finish, and the handset in this instance are matte finish as well. Kind of that Zin style with a black center. But this time we've got a long and fully loomed second hand. I'll put up the loom video. So in keeping with the colour tones of the watch, this is C3 old radium style vintage loom. You get that richer, deeper green colour than you get from regular C3. Love the way that the Collins logo glows as brightly as the numerals. It really is a nice touch. So plenty of loom. This is a final production unit that I'm reviewing here. This isn't a prototype. So if you pick up one of these for yourself, this is the loom you'll see, and it's pretty good. The leather strap is a good one, fairly stout, kind of rough cut on the ends, plenty of stitching, genuine leather, and with the Collins logo branded there underneath. Nice matching hardware, again with the Collins logo etched into it. No complaints about the stock strap whatsoever. I guess it could have overpowered another similarly sized watch, but because the watch itself is quite plain, I think they're a nice combination. And there is the watch sitting on top of my 7-inch wrist. Great set of dimensions for me, that kind of optimum sweet spot, 40mm with a reasonably short lug tip to lug tip. I suspect it's going to suit most people, and I am a complete sucker for that vintage old radium style loom on a watch. I think this one looks great. And very legible at that. I guess it's part Flieger, maybe a little bit fieldy in here as well, so you're going to expect legibility, and that is a solid strap to be offered as part of the standard package. Still nice and legible outside as well, thanks in no small part I'm sure due to the AR coating on the dial. And it wears well. 13.8 is not particularly slim. I guess they could have knocked a mil or two off either side if they'd wanted to, but I think the chunkiness is part of the appeal. It is going to sit up a little higher though than one might like if you put it on a double pass NATO or one of the optional Zulus, so just bear that in mind. So handsome, refined, simple, elegant design with a great set of specs. Nice domed sapphire crystal, cracking movement in it, great loom, and a little bit of California cachet. You get a bit of extra cool with your Hyperion. What am I going to complain about though? I usually find something. Well, my two complaints about the Bronson, as noted, have been resolved. The second hand on the Bronson was so small it almost disappeared onto the dial at points, and the handset was gloss finish rather than matte. They've resolved both of those issues with the Hyperion, and I think it's a much more resolved design as a consequence of that. Date window down at the 4 o'clock, it would have looked neater without it, but I guess I understand if you're going to put a date on a watch, then that's probably not a bad way of doing it. Certainly better than deleting the Big Arabic at 3 or just shoving it inboard of the 3. That would have been a disaster. We've seen that too many times as well, haven't we? My only real complaint though is with the pricing of this one. If you click on the link in the description, mosey over to the Kickstarter campaign and grab one of those early bird slots. This is good buying, I think, at $395 US. The value equation obviously does diminish the longer you leave it. Once this one pushes up to 500 US, perhaps that simplicity begins to count against it. Only a printed dial, not exactly Zaratsu finishing on the case. So at $400, I think the Hyperion is a great little watch. If you like the style, it looks good, it wears well. But another great little watch from Jimmy. I wonder if they'll do what they did with the Bronson and make a chrono version of the Hyperion. I would love to see a Sellita 500 dropped into the back of this one. If they could keep the price down, that would be quite a unique little watch. Cross your fingers.
So there you have it, another slice of California cool from Collins. I really do like their design philosophy. Nothing particularly radical here today with the Hyperion, clearly an evolution over the Bronson, but I think they improved the Bronson in every key area that they had to. The movement, the sapphire crystal, the whole thing just looks and feels quite a bit more refined. Now, if you get one of these at the early bird rate, around $400 to $450, I think this one makes excellent buying. Not a spectacular, shouty, flashy watch in any way, shape or form, but I think that'll suit some people to a T. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.